SDG number 3, Goal 11, for Sustainable Cities and Communities. How the use of global information technology can create sustainable cities. So what is Sustainable Development Goal number 1? As described by the United Nations, this goal focuses on making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. The goal is to really get residents of communities out of living in unlivable conditions, as well as provide them with access to a public transportation system. The list of targets of SDG Goal number 11, these are the things they want to achieve by 2030. Safe and affordable housing, affordable and sustainable urbanization. They want to protect the world's cultural and natural heritage, reduce the adverse effects of natural disasters, reduce the environmental impacts of cities, provide access to safe and inclusive green and public spaces, have strong national and regional development planning, and implement policies for inclusion, resource efficiency, and disaster risk reduction, as well as support least developed countries in sustainable and resilient building. My first data story in the Czech Republic versus the United States is about one goal set by the United Nations that was by 2030 there would be safe, affordable, accessible, and sustainable transport systems for everyone. In the United States, data shows that 58.9% of urban populations have access to public transportation systems within walking distance of 500 meters or 1,000 meters, which is mainly in large cities such as Chicago or New York. The Czech Republic is extremely advanced in their public transportation system, with a rate of 90.4% of the urban population having easy access to a public transport stop. I can testify that from living in the Czech Republic, I always had easy access to a public transportation system. It was never a long walk, and there were always various accesses where it was a bus, the metro, or a tram. I had access to get on a public transportation system. The United States, I don't have that ability as easily. And this is a chart just showing how, for public transport access, this is the share of urban populations with convenient access to public transportation in 2020. You can see that Czechia and the United States are very different. The Czech Republic is highly more advanced compared to the United States. The second data story in the Czech Republic versus the United States is that another goal set by the United Nations was that by 2030, they would reduce the adverse per capita environmental impact of cities, including paying special attention to air pollution. In the United States, the exposure to air pollution remained relatively steady from 1990 to 2010, before spiking slightly and then decreasing. In the Czech Republic, the rate of exposure increased slightly from 2005 to 2010, but overall they have been decreasing consistently over the past couple of decades. And this is shown here in the data chart for urban air pollution, the exposure to air pollution with fine particulate matter from 1990 to 2017. You can see the population-weighted average level of exposure to concentrations of suspended particles measuring less than 2.5 microns in diameter. This exposure is measured by that. So you can see that the Czech Republic has been steadily decreasing, but the United States has had significantly less headway on this. My X-Mine chart shows how the global information technologies in this class can help Czech Republic to assist Sustainable Development Goal number 11. Drones can help conduct surveys and construction cities within the Czech Republic to increase efficiency with building new sustainable cities. 3D printing can print materials that can be used in place of degrading construction materials. The new materials will increase sustainability, which is a big part of this goal. Big data analytics will help identify areas where carbon footprints can be reduced, and 3D printing will also create new cities with smaller houses closer to public transportation that will check off 2 goals within the Sustainable Development Goal number 11. This is just a recap of those proposed solutions using the previously mentioned global information technologies. They can make a large impact in the Czech Republic and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 11. Drones will improve efficiency on construction sites. 3D printing will print new materials and create new cities closer to public transportation. And big data analytics will identify areas that carbon footprints can be reduced. Not just carbon footprints, but big data analytics can show how this 3D printing and drones is changing the Sustainable Development Goal number 11 overall. These are my works cited, and thanks so much for watching.